Howdy folks, here's my next installment in the bike building video series. It's been a busy couple of weeks here, so I haven't been able to really do anything. It's also been really cold, so I haven't really been out in the garage messing around on the bike too much. Today is about 40 degrees, so I braved the cold again and got some more work done on the bike with the help of some friends. Got the motor back in the bike. I had to take it out to grind the motor mounts. Had to take the transmission out to grind the transmission mounts as well. For that, I actually used just an air die grinder with a sandpaper bit on their sandpaper attachment on the front there. That worked really well for getting under the powder coating. Very inexpensive way to cut through powder coating. If you just had like an angle grinder with a sandpaper attachment on it, that'd be fine too. But this worked really well. It was fast. If you have air tools, that's probably the way to go. Just getting more and more built on the bike. Getting through. I'm going to take you through some of the installs I did just to make sure I've got all the parts installed correctly. As I said before, I use this as a way to communicate with Zero, making sure I'm putting the bike together correctly and making sure I get the parts in the right spots. It's tricky. I ended up buying a video. I'll post a link in the description. It's a build your own bike. It's a video series this guy did. And it's kind of a generic build. He just builds like a generic bobber and takes you through some of the steps. The nice thing you pick up through it is he takes you through some of the torque specs on what to tighten things down, like brake rotors, like your motor mount bolts. But the biggest thing I picked up from it is the sequence of when to build what to put together. So it kind of works on every bike no matter what. But there's definitely, as you can see with some of the questions I'll be asking in this video, there's definitely certain things that are very bike dependent as far as the fitment of certain parts. So yeah, let me take you over to the bike here and show you in detail some of the things I'm working on. I've got most everything mocked up, mounted. Still got the rear fender to do. I got to do the front, see the headlight. I've got the front axle, wheel assembly, and brakes to do. I got the rear brake mounted up, rear rotor mounted up. I got most of the primary all mounted, motor plate and tranny plate together, and then the belt and the clutch on, so they're ready to be installed. That's really about it. I'm having trouble installing the oil bag. I'll take you through that as well, but most of the parts are getting on the bike, and I think I'm going to get through this a lot faster than I thought, like I said. So let me take you through. Alright, so you can see I've got the brake caliper all mounted up, as well as the rotor here. We've got the chain tensioners in place. I had to chase the threads in the frame there. I'm gonna check with Zero to make sure I've got the correct wheel spacers in the right sequence. The only thing that's really left in the rear end now is gonna be the sprocket on the other side. I'm gonna show you something real quick here though, something I'm concerned about, just to make sure I have the right sequencing. So the caliper is mounted to it's a bracket that hangs off the axle. The threaded parts for the caliper, that's all in place. I've got probably 2-3 millimeters clearance to the rotor from the end of the bolts. But here's the issue that I've come up with. Let me move the camera. So you can see here, for the bracket stay, where the heim joint's attached to, that bolt head is actually hitting the brake rotor as it stands, and I don't have the rear axle fully tightened up yet. So you can see that's going to be a problem. Now I do have a washer under that bolt head, so I may take that out and see if I've got enough clearance then. I may end up just running like a button head, low clearance head on that bolt as well. Could be another option. But yeah, just wanted to show that as an issue and kind of document it. I'll show the clearance for the bolts, for the caliper bolts here. One sec. Here you can see the clearance for these are the caliper mounts, even in and out. Like I said, it's probably somewhere between 3 and 5 millimeters actually is what it looks like, so that should be good. Alignment within the caliper looks really good in between the actual brake pads. I think we've got the correct sequence there. Okay, so for the right side of the rear axle wheel spacers, I wanted to make sure we've got the correct sequence here. So we've got the adjuster nut on the outside here, axle on the outside obviously. Then we've got the medium-sized spacer out of all the spacers right next to the frame. We've got the brake mount, and then the skinniest of the wheel spacers with the shoulder facing the bearing on the inside. And then over on the left side of the bike, we just got the large spacer, and then the capture. Now on the outside, you can see there was another spacer out here that doesn't really fit the inner diameter, so I don't know if that needs to go somewhere else. And then we've got our castle nut. I've got the pin in right now, but obviously it's not in place yet. So I just wanted to make sure that the rear axle wheel spacing was correct there. Still missing the sprocket, obviously. Next thing you see, I've got the primary mounted up. It's just mocked up. I don't have anything tightened in. I had to figure out the spacing for the actual transmission plate and the motor plate. I think I've got everything set there. Still don't know if I'm even going to install a starter in this bike. I probably will end up doing it eventually, but not sure as of now. So you can see I've got the motor back into the bike. What I did was grind the powder coating off the frame where both the motor and the transmission mount up. The reason I've done this, I've read a few spots that it's a good idea to do that as the engine and transmission vibrate. They actually wear away at that powder coating, loosening the actual engine and transmission. So this is a way to solve that. So you can see that that's how that was taken care of there. Next issue I've run into is with my oil bag mounting. You can see I've got the rubber bushing in place with the nut on the top and the side to the left here. Then you can see that this right boss almost seems like it's welded in the wrong spot, or I'm missing something as far as how to attach this. I've just put tape there to protect the paint or the powder coating, but it's quite a ways off. You can see probably about 2 inches. I don't know if there's a motor plate or a spacer plate that I need for that or what, but haven't found anything yet. See, we got the Baker kickstart mounted, ready to go. So this is something that I made a simple mistake on. I had said that I was missing a piece of hardware for mounting up the front headlight, when all it was on the fork bridge here. There's a piece of sticker that was covering up the hole for powder coating, I guess, and it was just so covered over in glossy black that I didn't even think to actually poke it and see if it was actually a hole underneath it. So I was looking at pictures Zero had sent me just to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. Sure enough, I finally figured out that just passes through on the fork there. So now we've got that all tightened up. You can see the bottom here. That's just a bolt that passes through the 90 degree there. That's where your the bottom of your headlight bracket mounts up. So that'll have a nice little stance to it. I'm gonna have to cut both sides of the boss here, of the tube. to mount up the headlight that I'm using. The stock one works fine, of course. So I'll have to cut down each side of those and get that brass headlight mounted up there. Alright, so I decided while I was out here tonight, I was going to go ahead and modify the headlight bracket or mount so that I can get that to fit. I'm going to go ahead and chuck it up in the vise here and grind that on off.